Hello dear students, today I will discuss the second last part of Unit 2 solution, that is part 7. After studying this part, you will be able to describe colligative properties of solutions and correlate these with molar masses of the solutes. Colligative properties discussed here are depression of freezing point of the solvent, and fourth property, osmotic pressure of the solution. First two properties, relative lowering of vapor pressure of solvent and elevation of boiling point of the solvent, I had discussed in part 6 of unit 2. Now again I want to repeat what is the colligative properties. The colligative properties are the properties of solution which only and only depend upon the amount of solute but not its nature. For example, if 1 mole glucose and 1 mole urea are taken, here 1 mole contains n number of particles, that's why both have same number of particles and hence both have same colligative properties. Now, freezing point. Before knowing the depression of freezing point, first of all we have to know about the freezing point. To the temperature at which solid and liquid form of substance have same vapor pressure. For example, water in form of liquid is equilibrium with water in form of solid at 0 degree centigrade. This indicates the freezing point of that substance. Now we have to know again the molar depression constant or freezing point depression constant or cryoscopic constant. In elevation of boiling points, we know about the molar elevation constant, that is Kb. Here we have to know about the Kf, that is equal to depression in freezing point of a solution whose molarity is unity. That is, molarity means 1 mole of solute is dissolved in 1 kg of solvent. It is represented by Kf. Molar elevation constant represented by Kb. Here both have same unit, that is Kelvin kg per mole. Now, depression in freezing point. Like elevation in boiling points, we also calculate depression in freezing point. So the difference between the freezing point of a pure solvent and its solution is called depression in freezing point. Here the pure solvent have more freezing point than solution. The difference is given in the term of delta Tf. Now look the graph drawn between vapor pressure and temperature, similarly in the elevation of boiling points. Here at P0 the temperature is T0, at P1 pressure the temperature is T1, and the P2 pressure the temperature is T2. The graph C2b indicate the solid, the point B indicates solvent, D indicate the solution first, and E indicates solution second. Now, for very dilute solution, the curve FD and CE are almost straight line and CB is also nearly a straight line. Hence, the triangle BEC and triangle BDF are similar. That is, EC by DF equal to BE by BD. That is, T0 minus T2 divided by T0 minus T1 is equal to P0 minus P2 divided by P0 minus P1. That is, delta T2 divided by delta T1 equal to delta P2 divided by delta P1. This indicates delta T is directly proportional to delta P. Similarly, in elevation in boiling point. Now, from Raoult's law, we know that change in pressure is directly proportional to molality. Here W2 indicate weight of solute, again 2 for solute and 1 for solvent. W2 weight of solute, M2 molecular weight of solute, W1 weight of solvent, that is delta P directly proportional to molality of the solution. Hence, delta T is also directly proportional to molality of the solution. That is, delta TF equal to Kf multiplied by molality. Here Kf is proportionality constant, where delta TF equal to freezing point of pure solvent, that is T naught F, minus freezing point of solution, that is TF. In case of delta TB, it is TB minus T naught B, but here T naught F minus TF. So two difference you have to notice here. While writing the delta TF and delta TB, so many confusions are there. So that's why you have to focus properly about this. Here Kf equal to molar depression constant and M equal to molality of the solution. We can find the equation like this, which you have to use to solve the numerical problem. Delta TF equal to Kf into W2 into 1000 divided by M2 multiplied by W1. To find the molar mass of solute, M2 equal to Kf into W2 into 1000 divided by delta TF into W1. So this formula you have to learn properly to solve so many questions based on depression in freezing points. Now, some more thing we have to know. Anti-freeze agent. This I also told you in the part 2 of unit 2 solution. Ethylene glycol, it is also known as Prestone, a 35% volume by volume. That means 35 ml of ethylene glycol and rest are solvent to make the solution 100 ml. Solution commonly added to the car radiators or vehicles to depress the freezing point of water. At this concentration, the antifreeze lower the freezing point of water to minus 17.6 degrees centigrade or 255.4 Kelvin. So this is the common antifreeze which are used in the car radiators. So this you have to know. Next, equimolar quantity of different substance dissolved in same quantity of solvent bring about the same depression in freezing point of the solvent under ideal condition. That also indicate that depression in freezing point is a colligative property, because here it also depend upon the same quantity of particles, that is equimolar solution. So the depression of freezing point is a colligative property. So many times this may be asked that why the depression in freezing point is a colligative property? So the answer is because it also depends upon the number of particles, that is mole. Hence, this is a colligative property. Now some application of depression in freezing point. First, ethylene glycol is used as antifreeze, as I have discussed, causes depression in freezing points in automobiles in that country where the temperature is sub-zero. Second, NaCl and CaCl2 is sprinkled on the road to melt ice because salt ice mixture has very low freezing point. So these mixtures are used to clear the snow on the road in that country which have sub-zero temperature. Now we have to focus questions based on depression in freezing point. First, what do you understand by term that Kf for water is 1.86 Kelvin kg per mole? If the value of Kf is given like this, so what is the meaning of this? So the answer is, it means that the freezing point of water is lowered by 1.86 Kelvin when 1 mole of non-volatile solute is dissolved in 1 kg of water. So this type of questions you have to write answer like this. Second, what is an antifreeze? This I have told you, but again in the form of question we have to give the answer. A substance such as ethylene glycol, formula is C2H6O2, which is added to water to lower its freezing point, is called an antifreeze. It is named so as it delays freezing. So antifreeze means it depresses the freezing point, is known as antifreeze solution. Next, why does sodium chloride solution freezes at lower temperature than water? The answer, as you know that sodium chloride is electrolyte, hence it can dissociate into number of particles. That is, one NaCl gives two number of particles, one Na plus and one Cl minus. That's why more the number of particles, more will be the depression in freezing points, because this depend upon the number of particles as it is a colligative property. Now answer, when a non-volatile solute is dissolved in a solvent, the vapor pressure decreases. As a result, the solvent freezes at lower temperature. Question number 4. How does sprinkling of salt help in clearing the snow covered road in the hilly areas? Explain the phenomenon involved in this process. To answer, when salt is spread over the snow covered road, snow starts melting from the surface because of depression in freezing point of water, and it helps in clearing the roads. So the phenomenon involves depression in freezing point of water, that is depression of freezing point. Now, before starting about the osmotic pressure, a colligative property, we have to know about the osmosis. So the Greek meaning of osmosis means osmos, apus, that is to push. The passage of solvent molecules from pure solvent or the solution of low concentration. Here low concentration means more solvent, less solute, to the solution of higher concentration. This means more solute and less solvent through the semi-permeable membrane. This process of flow of solvent is called osmosis. So one more thing you have to know, the difference between the diffusion and osmosis. In diffusion, movement of particles take place from their higher to lower concentration. But here the movement of only solvent particles take place from higher to lower concentration. The second difference, in case of diffusion, no membrane is required, but in case of osmosis, this will happen by a membrane, that is semi-permeable membrane. So these are the two differences between the osmosis and diffusion. Now we have to focus on the last colligative property, that is osmotic pressure. The symbol of osmotic pressure is pi. Now definition: the excess pressure that must be applied to the solution side. Here osmotic pressure are applied to the solution side. That's why only this property is for solution. The rest three properties, relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, and depression in freezing point, is the property of solvent. So again, the excess pressure that must be applied to the solution side to just prevent the passage of solvent into the solution through semi-permeable membrane is known as osmotic pressure. Now look the diagram. Your right side is the solvent and left side the solution. Both are connected by a tube having SPM, means semi-permeable membrane. In the solution side, be applied extra pressure than the atmospheric pressure, that is P atm plus pi, but in solvent side only P atm. So more pressure which are applied to the solution side to just stop the flow of solvent molecules is known as osmotic pressure. So this figure indicates that the excess pressure equal to the osmotic pressure must be applied to the solution side to prevent osmosis. Here excess pressure is pi and this pressure is known as osmotic pressure. Now osmotic pressure is a colligative property of solution, as it depends on the number of solute molecules and not on their identity, that is nature, and is given by the following relations: pi equal to, here two type of pi are written, in different book different type of pi are written, that's why I write two type of pi. So pi equal to CRT, here C is molarity. Most of the books we write sometimes C in the place of capital M. In NCERT also written this, that's why we write CRT. As we know that the molarity equal to number of mole of solute divided by volume of solution, that's why this can be interconverted into N2 by V RT. Now we know that number of mole equal to mass by molar mass. So in term of molar mass, we got the equation like this: M2 equal to W2 divided by pi V RT. R is known as solution constant and equal to gas constant. Here T have to take in the Kelvin. So pi equal to osmotic pressure of solution. It may be in atm or bar. 1 atm equal to 1.013 bar. V equal to volume of solution in liter. It may be in ml, so you have to change into liter. N2 number of mole of solute, this is equal to mass by molar mass. R equal to 0.0821 in liter atm per Kelvin per mole, but in bar it equal to 0.083 liter bar per Kelvin per mole. T equal to temperature in Kelvin. If here T given the centigrade, so you have to change into the degree centigrade to Kelvin by adding 273 in the degree Kelvin, sorry, in the degree centigrade. Next, The osmotic pressure method has advantage over other method as pressure measurement is around the room temperature and the molarity of the solution is used in place of molality. As I have told you in the part second, molarity is function of temperature. That means molarity depend upon temperature because molarity involve volume. That's why this method is better than other method. Now, biological and industrial importance of osmosis. So the process of osmosis is of great biological and industrial importance as it is evident from the following examples. First, the movement of water from soil to plant's roots and subsequently into upper portion of the plant occurs partially due to the osmosis. Second, preservation of meat against bacterial action by adding salt is also example of osmosis. Third, preservation of foods against bacterial action by adding sugar. Bacterium in the canned fruit loses water through the process of osmosis, shrivel and then after die. That's why in salty and sugary containers basically work as food preservative. Here the food do not spoil so easily due to salt and sugar. So this is also example of osmosis. Now semi-permeable membrane. Membrane may be permeable, differentially permeable or semi-permeable. Permeable is the example of cell wall which allow passage of all the substance. Selective permeable only allow the passage of the selective particles, but semi-permeable only allow the passage of solvent molecule but not solute molecule. So now a membrane which allows a selective passage of solvent molecules, small solvent molecules, but not the passage of bigger solute molecules is called a semi-permeable membrane. These membranes can be of animal or vegetable origin and these occur naturally such as pig's bladder or parchment paper or can be synthetic such as cellophane. Some artificial cell membranes are given below are gelatinous copper ferrocyanide and calcium phosphate. So these are the artificial SPM. Now isotonic solution. Iso means same, tonic means concentration. Here the pi 1 equal to pi 2. That means solution 1 contains same pressure as solution 2. So two solution having same osmotic pressure at a given temperature are known as isotonic solution. The osmotic pressure associated with the fluid inside the blood cell is equivalent to the 0.9% mass by volume sodium chloride solution. That is, the blood cell have same osmotic pressure as that of 0.9% mass by volume sodium chloride solution, which is also known as saline solution and is safe to inject intravenously. In hospital, so many times you saw that the glucose bottle, that saline waters are injected to your body. So these are the isotonic with your blood vessels, that is RBC. For isotonic solution at constant temperature, N1 divided by V1 equal to N2 divided by V2. If the volume is same, that is container is same, in that condition N1 equal to N2. Next, hypertonic solution. Hyper means more, the higher osmotic pressure than a particular solution, and hypotonic means low, so the lower osmotic pressure than a particular solution. So three terms you have to know about: the isotonic, hypertonic and hypotonic. Now look the diagram to understand better the three terms. In first case, case number 1, A, the RBC neither shrink, in case A, swell and possibly rupture in a hypotonic solution region. Now water enter into the RBC cell, that's why it will rupture, and this is the example of basically end osmosis. Second, maintain normal condition volume and shape is an isotonic solution. Here the amount of water enter or leave the cell are equal, that's why volume and shape is also normal. This indicate isotonic solution. In third case, shrivel and possibly die in a hypertonic solution region, more loss of water than intake of water take place, that's why shrinking of RBC cell take place. So these are the example to better understand about the three term isotonic, hypertonic and hypotonic. Next, some note you have to know: intravenous drip of saline water which we are taking in the hospitals. Saline drip to the patient is also based on the principle of osmosis. Point number 1, a 0.91% solution of NaCl in water is isotonic to the human blood. Hence, in this solution, red blood cells neither shrink nor swell. Second, aqueous solution of NaCl with concentration less than 0.91% is hypotonic. That means more water, that is less concentration. On placing RBC blood cell in this solution, end osmosis take place, and hence more water enter into the RBC, and that's why bursting of RBC take place. Third condition, aqueous solution of NaCl with concentration more than 0.91% is hypertonic to the blood. In this solution, on placing red blood cells in it, X osmosis or plasmolysis result into shrinking of the cell, and hence RBC will die. Here the RBC lose water because the outside solution have more concentration, and I have told you in osmosis the flow of solvent molecule always take place from low concentration to high concentration. That's why here RBC will die. Now we have to know some questions which are based on osmotic pressures. First, state how does osmotic pressure vary with the temperature. To learn about the formula, pi equal to CRT, that is pressure directly proportional to the temperature. Hence osmotic pressure increases with increase in temperature. Second, why is osmotic pressure of 1 mkCl higher than 1 m urea solution? As I have told you, the osmotic pressure is a colligative property and it depends upon the number of particles. Here 1 mole KCl break into 2 particles, K plus and Cl minus, and that's why the number of particles become 2 capital M. But urea is a non-electrolyte and do not dissociate, that's why it have 1 m, that is 1 mole of particles. Here more the particles in the KCl, that's why osmotic pressure of KCl is higher? Now the answer, this is because KCl dissociate to give K plus and Cl minus ion, while urea being a molecular solid does not dissociate into ions in the solution. So that's why more the number of particles, more will be the osmotic pressure, because osmotic pressure is a colligative property. Next, question number 3. When fruits and vegetables that have dried are placed in water, they slowly swell and return to the original form. Explain why. Would a temperature increase accelerate the process? Explain. The two questions in one questions are given. So the answer, so many times in our homes and houses also, we pour some resins in the water, and these resins after entering the water become swell. Grams also swell. So these are the examples of the end osmosis. Now the answer is, the cell wall of fruit and vegetables act as semi-permeable membrane. When they are dried, concentration inside become higher. On placing in water, the process of osmosis takes place, so they swell and return to their original form. So this is the answer of first question. Second, the process will be accelerated with increase of temperature, because osmosis become faster with increase in temperature, as osmosis is directly proportional to temperature, given in the formula also. So these are the answer of this question. Got it? Now question number 4. Give reason. Red blood cells, that is RBC, shrink when placed in saline water but swell in distilled water. So again same concept here we have to apply, endosmosis and exosmosis. So solution, RBC loses water in saline water but absorb water in distilled water due to osmosis. That's why this phenomenon take place. Next question number 5. AgNO3 on reaction with NaCl in aqueous solution gives white PPT of AgCl. White PPT, that is of AgCl. If the two solutions are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, will there be appearance of a white PPT inside the X due to osmosis? There one diagram is given. The two containers are separated by SPM. So now focus on the diagram. As I have told you, SPM only allow the passage of solvent molecules. Here AgNO3 and NaCl both are solute, to no any solute move from X to Y or Y to X. That's why no chemical action take place and hence no PPT is formed. So the answer is no PPT, because only solvent particles move through the SPM but not solute particles. That's why no PPT is formed. So this type of question is also may be asked. So you have to understand properly about the osmosis and osmotic pressure. Now question number 6. Blood cells are isotonic with 0.9% of sodium chloride solution. What happens if we place blood cell in a solution containing 1.2% sodium chloride solution? As the more concentration, so this behave as hypertonic solution. Second, 0.4% sodium chloride solution, this is the low concentration. Then 0.9% sodium chloride, so this behave as hypotonic solution. So now the answer is, in first case, water will flow out of the cell and hence they would shrink. So this indicate 1.2% solution is more concentrated than 0.9% solution. In second case, water will flow into the cell and hence they would swell. So this type of questions may be asked also in the board examinations. Question number 7. Why osmotic pressure is considered as colligative property? So I have told you it depends upon number of moles of solute present in the solution. That's why it is a colligative property. So this type of questions you have to write answer like this. Now one numericals based on osmotic pressure. Question number 8. 200 centimeter cube of an aqueous solution of a protein contains 1.26 gram of protein. The osmotic pressure of such a solution at 300 Kelvin is found to be 2.57 10 की power minus 3 bar. To calculate the molar mass of the protein. So the formula we have to use pi equal to CRT, C equal to N2 by V and N2 equal to W2 by M2. So now using this formula, so first of all we have to write like this. The various quantities known to us are as follows. Pi given 2.57 into 10 की power minus 3 bar. V given 200 centimeter cube, that is equal to 200 ml, and in liter it becomes 0.2 liter. T is given in Kelvin, so no need of to change the temperature. R as the pressure given bar, so we have to take the value of R 0.083 liter bar per mole per Kelvin. Now putting these value in the equation, pi equal to W2 by M2, R W2 multiply by R multiply by T divided by M2 multiply by V. We get M2 equal to, putting the value of volume, pi, R and T, and after solving this we get the answer 61,020 gram per mole. So this is the molar mass of protein in gram. So now so many questions of various type I have given to you. All of you note down from part 1 to part 7 in your fair copy and also write these questions and solve again by your own after understanding and proper learning of these topics, and also do some questions based on the taught topic from NCERT and text question, examples, and also exercises. So this is the note you have to also note down in your fair copy. Stay healthy, stay safe and keep learning. Thank you.